The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
The Auschwitz Jewish Center Foundation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to utilize lessons from the Holocaust to fight hatred and bigotry in all forms through educational programs and provide direct humanitarian assistance to victims of mass atrocities and genocide. Your support helps ensure AJC's vital work to fight anti-Semitism and all forms of hatred through education. They use the lessons of the Holocaust to honor the past and transform the future for generations to come. For all the details and to support the Auschwitz Jewish Center Foundation, visit ajcfus.org. That's ajcfus.org.
We're here today with One Israel Fund. They're a great organization, and they paid now for both of our trips. But the last time we were here, we met up with another great organization, Ateret Cohanim, and we specifically met a guy by the name of Dan Luria. He's a great tour. And Moti Dan. They took us for a great tour of the old city. And it turns out that our dear friends listening right now on Long Island, Dove and Shani Heiken, they're involved with this organization, and they do a wonderful thing. They buy land back from the Arabs, and they get it back to the Jews. I love that. In fact, they had a huge dinner a couple of months ago. They honored me and my beautiful wife, Danielle. It was an amazing evening. So here he is, joining us right now from Ateret Cohanim, our friend Dan Luria. Dan, good morning from Israel. How are you?
Good morning. Shalom, shalom from the heart of Israel in the middle of Jerusalem. It's an amazing day. It may have been a traumatic start to the year, a year ago, but the Lion of Judah, as I say, has risen totally, and we've got our deterrence, our resilience back, and God willing, we'll see a true victory for the Jewish people. And we'll be back, as they say. But it's great to be on the station with you. By the way, my mum and my grandmother also had the same birthday, and we only found out when my grandmother passed away that she changed her birthday so it wouldn't coincide with my mother and take away the celebration. So, but that was only known later on. Anyway, that's apropos my grandmother's birthday.
That's a good story. She changed it. She was smart. So, Dan, there are so many issues with Israel right now. We remain incredibly positive. We're winning the wars, more than one. I think Bibi's doing a great job, and we walk the streets all day in Israel and see people happy and smiling. But there are some negatives, above and beyond the wars. I know, for example, the economy has been taking a beating. Lots of businesses have closed since October the 7th. What is the real estate market like right now in Israel?
Well, first of all, just like childbirth, there may be a difficult 9-month period. At the end, there is a beautiful baby that is born. There are issues in certain parts of the country. First of all, there are the hostages still, which is a nightmare. We've got thousands of families that are no longer in their homes. But at the end of the day, we're going in the right direction. And with regards to Jerusalem and the real estate, this whole battle is all over Jerusalem. They want to march on Jerusalem. The war is called the El Aqsa Flood, according to the Muslim world. So what we're doing, trying to hold on to Jerusalem, is the center of everything, from Iran to Gaza to Yemen. They're screaming for Al-Quds, El Aqsa, Jerusalem. So trying to buy back old Jewish property, redeem Jewish life, strengthen Jewish life in the heart of Jerusalem is so paramount today. It's one of the 3 battles which is effectively taking place. I keep on talking about the fact that as a Jewish people, we have to build 3 domes. First of all, without the belief of God, the heavenly dome, we need the strength of the Israeli army, the Lions of Judah, the Maccabees, the Iron Dome, and the Jerusalem Dome. The HIJ domes, as I call them, that's what's needed to be built today. but however difficult it may be, I'm not saying it's easy at the real estate, because remember, sadly and disgracefully, if an Arab sells to a Jew, he's killed, which means we have to do somersaults and do everything possible to protect the Arabs. It's unethical, it's a disgrace, but it's a Muslim edict forbidding Arabs to sell to Jews. But thank God we have had success. There are now 1,000 Jews living in the old Jewish quarter. We've gone back to the old Yemenite neighborhood where the Jews were kicked out of. You know, this thing of hatred and driving the Jews out from the river to the sea didn't start, a year ago on the 7th of October. It's even before 1948. In fact, the first person killed that's recorded by the Israeli government when they talk about the number of soldiers killed, they go back to 1851. So much there was a Rabbi Avram Shlomo Zalman Zuref, who all he did was to purchase and buy land in the heart of the old city, and he was murdered for it. They want Jerusalem. They don't understand that we have come back home, though, that we're not going anywhere, that we have, and we have to be, the world has to know, they have to let us win. They have to let us win and respect our right to live in true peace in our own land. And it will happen, slowly but surely.
You know what's interesting to me is people are so stupid and ignorant, especially in the United States, and they call Israel colonizers, genocide is ridiculous. But here's what I know, okay? Traveling through Jerusalem and with you, a great tour you did in the old city, and spending 2 days now in Judea and Samaria. Here's what I know. In the Jewish neighborhoods, there are Arabs. Guess who's not in the Arab neighborhoods? Jews. So wait a second. How are we the colonizers when we live with them, right? We live with them, but these areas, which, by the way, have signs that say, basically, you're a Jew, you come in here, we can kill you. Those types of signs exist today. How are we the colonizers if we live with them, but they won't live with us?
100%. The truth is, it's impossible for the indigenous people of the land to be colonized. We're not imperialists like the British Empire or the host of empires that try to take over this country. All of these empires, the truth is, if you think about it, that tried to wipe out the Jewish people from the river to the sea, from the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Muslims, all the way to the British, they're bylines in history books today. We're the ones that are still standing. We can't be colonizers of our own area. We are today occupying, which is not a dirty word, we are the indigenous people who have the full right, morally, historically, to settle our own land. And in Jerusalem, there are plenty of Arabs that buy land in predominantly Jewish neighborhoods. I know, but the second a Jew wants to move back into what is today maybe a predominantly Arab neighborhood, but by the way, for example, you take Silwan. Silwan was a Jewish neighborhood before there was a single Arab living there. The world knows about it. The British know about it. They took out the Jews that were there. The Jews were driven out with pogroms, the riots taken out by the British, and we've gone back there. We don't have rights. The arrogance, the ignorance of the world to say that we don't have rights to live in every single neighborhood in the heart of Jerusalem is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. But the world can say what it wants. Like I said, we're here to stay, and there is nothing that the world can do about it. And the saddest part about it in this current war is that we seem to be alone. We seem to be fighting the war on behalf of the whole of the West against this evil black axis. You know, we represent the light and the good, fighting pure evil that came to the fore on the 7th of October, although it existed well before that, came to the fore, and we seem to be fighting it alone. Where is the world? Why don't they understand what we are doing? America had one day. It was a shocking day. I happened to be in New York in that day. It was one day, and it's September 11th. Okay, but as a result of it, they fought for 10, 12 years and changed the face of countries. We've had non-stop a barrage of September 11th, day after day, month after month, year after year. Now we're trying to finally rectify the problem, and where is the world? Where is this hypocritical? This world is full of hypocrisy and ignorance, but it doesn't matter. Let them say what they want. We're not moving. We will crush Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, do what we have to in Iran, because we are here. The Jewish people are reborn. This is, as we call this war, it has been called the Iron Sword. That's what we called it, but now they want to change it to rebirth. They can call it whatever you like. But our resilience and our strength, we've got the deterrence back. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai said, it's amazing what is happening. There was a national ECT, a reset button on October the 7th, and we have risen. We have risen, and we are back.
Oh, I feel it. Being here again since Sunday. I've been here now twice in the last 6 months. and met beautiful people like you, and you're great at this, Dan. You're great on the radio. I feel it. You can't help. People ask me when I get back to America, they go, well, what is it about Israel? And I say, this is going to sound crazy because I talk for a living. I'm a radio guy. I can't articulate it. I just can't. It's in your heart. You walk off the plane, you walk into neighborhoods, you just feel. You feel a spirit. You feel a love. You feel you can't beat us that you don't feel anywhere else. But on the way out, Ateret Cohanim, again, we had that great dinner. We did the tour last time, me, my beautiful wife Danielle, my son Gabriel, Justin, and you were amazing, Dan, showing us the old city, parts of Jerusalem, where in fact Jews are moving back to. So in the next minute or two, give the listeners exactly what your organization does. And if somebody out there is listening and wants to buy something, how do they do it?
Well, first of all, anyone can go to the site Ateret Cohanim, ATERETCOHANIM.org to find out anything they need to know. But in relation to the real estate, it's not through American Friends of Ateret Cohanim. That's directly with Israel. The American Friends Office, which Shani Heiken and others, Chaim Liebtag, run basically, are all to do with the projects, restoring synagogues, children's projects, security projects, adopting families. The revival of Jewish life centers around all of those projects. The real estate acquisitions is done directly through Israel. They can be in contact with me directly. That's not a problem. The organization overall, we're basically keeping Jerusalem in Jewish hands. We are strengthening Jewish roots in the heart of Jerusalem by going back to old Jewish neighborhoods, old Jewish properties, adding facts on the ground, Jewish presence centered around educational institutes, basically fulfilling the dream of your great-grandparents and my great-grandparents. You said earlier there's a special feeling. You know what that is? Because we're one body. Your great-great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents are part of this one unique body called the Jewish people. We have Jerusalem running through our veins. We feel as one wherever we are. We are an unbreakable nation that will never be broken as long as we stick to the covenant with God. God, the Jewish people, the Bible, the Torah, Judaism, and Jerusalem all together is a winning recipe. And what we're trying to do is make sure that the dreams of the past are realized and that we hold on to Jerusalem for the future generations. It's probably the most important, maybe the most hated and loved organization, depending on where you're coming from. But thank God the Jewish people and those that know who we are and what we are, they definitely support and want to keep Jerusalem in Jewish hands, which is why we're very much needed, loved, and calling for the support of the Jewish people and those around the world who want to see Jerusalem stay under Jewish sovereignty and in Jewish hands for generations to come.
Dan, you're a wonderful guy. What can I tell you? Listen, L'Shana Tova, I should say, and Chag Sameach, and we have Yom Kippur coming up. Have an easy fast, and thank you so much for doing this today, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon, buddy. Thank you so much. God willing, I hope that maybe your next broadcast we can maybe do in the heart of Jerusalem from the same place that Mark Twain wrote. He stayed in the Mediterranean Hotel, which is today the Wittenberg House. You can do the broadcast from there, and we can think about what Twain said about what the land was, he spoke about the Jewish people, their connection to the land, a unique place to do a broadcast next time you're in the country. We're going to do that. I love that idea. I promise you, Dan, we're going to do that. Thank you for the offer. I'm going to do it again very, very soon. Thank you so much, buddy. Great to talk to you.
Shana Tova to you and to all your listeners.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman invites you to mark 1 year since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. Join us as we come together this Monday, October 7th at 6 p.m. at the Harry Chapin Lakeside Theater in Eisenhower Park. Let's stand together in solidarity with Israel and those held hostage Monday, October 7th, 6 p.m. at Eisenhower Park. For more information, visit NassauCountyNY.gov.